fan is ungezint, we gaan het oplossen. Goed. De fan is ungezint. The fan, no, do. The thermostat.
This is interesting.
Yeah. So, Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Welcome. This amazing night of Tu B'Shvat, Tu B'Uv. I was so focused on saying it right that I got it wrong. So, how easy is it? I mean, how complicated? It's very difficult to remember Tu B'Uv instead of Tu B'Shvat. So, what's that?
The problem is Kechillik.
No, it's a stark Kechillik. It's a very, very deep Kechillik. Tu B'Shvat is, compared to Tu B'Uv, is like strawberries and cherries versus full-on marching forward. Fire. Today is the hottest day of the year. Tomorrow. After tomorrow, Hapten Venisher and Tushish Koicha Shalachan. It's Hapten Venishwacher, the Zin Hapten Venishwacher. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll see soon what it means. I don't know what it means. Somewhat, I know what it means because I discussed it with my Garusa. What it means. The sun. What is the sun? The sun is massive oil channeled in a specific way, and it's not just a light. It's a light that is connected to a source that is endless because the sun hasn't changed. It's the same size. It keeps at the same temperature, no matter how time more time goes on. It stays the same thing. So we're dealing with something that is just go back with it before it turns into fire, and over there is just a light. It's oil because the sun itself is an angel, so the face of an angel. So they have an understanding. They understand what they're doing. They understand what's going on. They have an understanding. Says the Rambam, and Chassidus talk about it. So Tu B'Uv is since the 15th Tatuk from the Chodesh. The 15th Tatuk from the month is when the Levuna is in full glory. It's in the full expansion, which means that it's gravity. We're here with gravity, and the moon is pulling and pushing, so it creates different waves of energy, different waves of light. But everything in the Bria is connected to a light, to a frequency. It's connected to it's a layer. It goes still here, and this one goes still here, and there's Klieger goes still here. But it's ultimately the arena, it's the gallery and the arena, and the center of the arena is where the light is. That's connected all the way connected to this from the bottom to the top, and we are those that are connecting that light from the bottom to the top, connected to the infinite source, connected to that thing that said, "Let there be a world." And he says a lot of things, but then in his thought, all of the mashava came out from his ratza, from the, so to speak, the pit of the stomach, no pictures, just so we can understand what we're talking about. So that thing is, stop looking at it as you belong, and I have my things, what I have and what I don't have, and just understand that it's way bigger than that. It's an infinite source, an infinite pull, and if you allow when the moon is in the 15th day, where there's full gravity, it's like having a air conditioner, the vent. You open it up fully, like in the car you have the round ones, and then you turn it in full blow. That's the moon in full blow, fully open on the 15th day, aligned with the hottest day of the sun, which means there's the most power coming out of the sun that is mirroring into the moon, which is the Av and the Ima. You have the Chachma and the Bina, you have the Zoh, which is the Midas, Kitchabrichi, and Malchus, which is the moon, and we are in the moon. So when you have this yichud happening together, there is massive oiras. Oiras meaning that whatever power you need to rev up, whatever power you need to generate, whatever type of energy you need to generate to overcome a certain obstacle, which is sometimes you're feeling a little sluggish during the day and you're not feeling good. So you drink a coffee and you feel empowered again, or you go for a workout, or you smoke a cigarette, whatever it is that you do, it gets you back. And if when you do any of these things and you don't feel that way, then you need to change your intention. Why you're doing these things? Because it's supposed to generate energy. It's supposed to get you focused and recentered. And if you do it that way, then it can be unique. So also, it's not as I would say it's not. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't damage. It's not shadel, so to speak. So the vart is that you need a certain level of koyach. You need the coffee has to be a certain strength for you to be able to push whatever struggle that you're in, whatever squeeze you're in. A certain intensity for your breathing, the way you breathe, how much you need to breathe in order to push through whatever your stuckness is. But you need that level of energy. So throughout the year, we have different levels of energy, Shabbos and a Yom Tov, and then you give tzedukah and you do certain things that pushes your level of energy so you can overcome your obstacle. You can remove that fog of unknown, uncertainty, the sveikas, and in the best case, in the best case, you can express your doubts and your worries and your pain. And in the worst case, which is most of the case, you don't even know what's flying. You don't even know that you're stuck. You just are. So you just this is my problem. That's my problem. There's no problem. It's just a fog. So you need to understand why you're doing this. Again, the intention is that what I'm doing is not to become better. The intention is for me to release, to be free, to open up. So the whole year we operate in that level, to better this, to better that. One hand, the other hand, the right, the left, the center. But it comes in Tu B'Av is a day that it's not about you b'chlal. It's opening up full expansion. It's the 15th day of the month where the moon is at its fullest glory. Which whoever did not bench Kiddush Levuni, that should definitely do it tonight or last night. You're connecting to the moon. You're connecting to the moon. This is your power. This is your koyach. So you want to definitely connect it through certain blessings, a certain bracha that you want to connect with it. So to make that contact. So the 15 days. So we had Shlomo Melech. Shlomo Melech was also, it says that in his times the moon was like his times was like when the Levuna is at its full glory, the 15th day. Sahara B'Shlemusa, which is the completion of the moon. It was massive, this tremendous power that the Eden had at that time. There was riches, there was everything. There was everything that was they can possibly. The money grew, gold. Shlomo Melech figured out where to get seeds to plant trees that grow gold, and people had in their backyard apples, trees made out of with apples made out of gold, straight up. There was such a gus, and the floors were made out of gold, silver. So it was crazy times. That was what happens when Chachma comes into this world and it's aligned with Malchus, and it's aligned with Malchus. Which is Shlomo Melech was Chachma. He was a Chachma machine, and that was aligned with Malchus. He was the Melech, and we were all connected to that. So there was tremendous amount of koyach, but it wasn't Zaman Geula yet. That was just Besamigdash. The Geula that we're dealing with right now is a whole different story. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different idea. What's the idea? I think then they were living through the organism. They were still connected to. They saw everything. Whatever we saw, they didn't see the body. We didn't see. They didn't see the body the way we see it right now. Looking from your eyes, they saw it from the inside. They saw it from Das. So they were fully connected. Fully connected. When you saw you saw him back. So there was a tremendous amount of presence, because then the ruach, the energy body, the spirit of everything. So when you live in the spirit, it's easy. When you live in the ruach, it's easy to clean yourself. It's easy to dust off, because when you think that when you're physical and your problems are physical, and you stay trying to fix your physical problem with physical intention, physical maneuvers, and you stay in the physical, it gets stronger, rougher, and tougher. But once you see it for what it is, you see it from the ruach, from the breath. Everything is just melting away. It's not chomer levenim. Because there was tremendous flash of Chachma at that time that was present, and it was in your best day and your best focus that you can imagine. That was Shlomo Melech, the space he was holding, the center of that. Also the Karbonis, so the Karbonis were removing any type of, it's like Lamushal the Sage and all that, but times 1,000. Talking about a whole operation set up, specifically built in a specific place, special sizes, specific vibration with very, very intense intention, and with types of thing that went into there. And then there was the Urin HaKodesh, that was the Kapodas, the Shnai Kerivim were in the Kodesh Kudashim, which was this technology that came straight up through prophecy. It said that this is how it should be made. That's going to be able to channel the voice of this creator. What that is, he speaks. I don't know. I mean, Kol de Mamadaka. When Ben Shnei Kirivim, it came out through the Kirivim, Moshe was talking to the thing. Can you imagine? Like no maybes. What it was straight up, and it was crazy things. Muhammad's 32 kings, and these people were giants. They were half man, half not. They were half human only. The Bnei Enoch and all that. They were not humans. They were beyond humans. They were superpowers. There was so gewaltig damals in the Cyril. And the Irish told them, "Go in there. and We're going to take care of it." And they just came in with the ordnance. And things. Do with the Melech was put up one arrow and see for 800 ervan. They gave him one arrow. 800 people died. Another one, another 800 people. And then it was 1,000. It was 1,000, and he lost 200 because it came to by the Massif in Beersheba. He lost 200, and he was mispalel for it. Gefragt for us, because of that. Anyway, so he cried a lot for that. But that was the battle, the type of battle. Imagine you standing in front of something that just shoots from one, it turns into 800. It was strong because the gold McCann's on the pussy. The toes him a little. Anyways, so the word is that we're dealing with. So you have to do with the melech. You have. Let's go with what does it mean? Misha me do with good to eine ile toy. I want to get challenge, but 10 cents is also my food and those quite much time comes up this last. Time out there. So, ja, but farden. Well, you don't need some good to know in case. I don't really want to go there, but I want to go somewhere else. Yes. So let's go back to before we go. Let's go back just to that. To well. So yes, to understand that going in tonight, right now, there's tonight is all about the relationships, because tonight is when the women, the girls and the boys, the men and the babs and the felder, that's when matter given for because again, but the plagues were given, and Sheva Ben Yuman had a whole pasha over there, and many found thousand different. It's a civil war against Sheva Ben Yuman, and 3 times they asked Iram Timon, Tim's like and then we gefragt Timon had given him gesagt ja, and they went in Muhammad all the shoot went in Muhammad with Sheva Ben Yuman, and first one time 18,000 died. They asked Iram Tim again, and then 25,000 something or another 18,000, and then 12, and then. They were told to go now, they're going to win. Why? Because they should have asked should we go to war to begin with. They didn't ask. I'm gefragt, sie sollen gewinnen. Und gesagt, ja, it's gewinnen, but because that fragt, me got Hagen and Breeder, what are you talking about? What is civil war? Are you crazy? You're killing the organism, you're killing like it's the arm of the Shabbos. What is this? So they didn't ask, and what was the big sin was the hypocrisy. That's what's important, yes. We did this once already. But the big sin was the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy means hypocrite, because Magatin da wird zure damit, sie gehen behalten oder wird zure, Magatin verschiedene Sachen, and jeder ging still. Nobody wanted to get their hands dirty. But mit dem Magaret Tamaidl, jeder geworden wild. Ach, Chitzpah, Zazach. Jeder geworden, beruhigt it. Okay, what? You also have your animal in you. There's so many other things happening all around. It's not down job, but do. So the Abstract is no. This non-COVID, okay, it was COVID for me, let's go all the way to the end of this. So they went to war. The problem was that tribal humans are going to link to. And when you can't stop shlugen, you're fighting with somebody with the right hand, but if somebody's a left hand, the guy still I came to fin into the cup. They weren't used to it, so it's good following them. They couldn't deal. Shalim was very fast, very strong, When got technique, they were tricky. They were fighting with the left hand, and it kicked them young and done. So the first month like 18,000 died, and then another 18,000. So then it's the matter. And then something geassert als keine tun was even living from the 400 some self from Shabbat humans. They were almost disintegrated. It was almost done. So we came to the Simon to good class anschauen mit der andere Scheibe, so we came to the Sanhedrin, the Chachumim, the Matter given. Was it that there is a danger of distinction. So what they did was, they took Matter given as we can go Chassan of Anschauen to the andere Scheibe. And at the same time, also in the tribe of Benjamin. I'm a king, I'm trying to do this. So in the fell, there's again a massive symptom that was going on over there. That a lot of things happened that day. The Betarmi can be the Meisim. Anyways, let's see if we'll go one at a time, see if there's enough curve to be able to get in. Because Betar story is with Bar Kokhba, it's a very, very heavy story, very, very intense story. Bekiva Gemeinte is Mashiach, Bekiva Soy is Mashiach. And it's himself Bar Kokhba, they called him Bar Kokhba because in Ishgren Mashiach. And the fact that the Sashalim within a Shmeknish. Mashiach and fine, so the pink town design from the Rebbe says that the Rebbe was right, he was a Mashiach, but the Rebbe was already there, he was fully aligned, so he was able to see Mashiach in their Kokhba. But the dog was ready, clearly we weren't ready, because we're here now, 25 years later, trying to figure out. So,
Door is een Mashiach de roze company. Van Rebbe Kiel.
Ja, warte. Ja.
De app is al niet zo gewend dat. There was some truth to it.
Yeah, but was I think Rebbe Kiva gemacht kan tun. But then it's Barkov at the end, nobody knows how he died. But what most agree upon is that he was assassinated by one of his own Sanhedrin, to say it in very fancy language, on the signs on execution, so to speak. Because again, since zwei Sachen. Eins is because Magzene nicht Mashiach. We have to finish it. In the zweite Sache gewesen, weil the Römer sich nehmen. And they gewesen Lasch mit der Haare gefunden. Hat ausgehargert von seiner ganzen Legion. He was in nicht am gewesen Gebäuden. Sie gewesen the top of the top. And to be able to enter into Zan unit, to his army, you had to be able to bite off your finger. You put a bit in the finger, as to can't ranken. Initiation. Jetzt bist du ready zu und haben das Training. Nog de gekomen gezocht dat ze draaien zich in de ganze wereld zijn en macht een minimum van Claudius Rome, bakte er met 4 vinger. Dat was ook oké. Ze zijn gelaufen auf een horse, of een pferd. En ik dacht, while he was running, ik dacht ausrasen naar boven. So full speed and then omgaat naar boven and stay on the horse and rip out the tree. Takes tremendous amount of speed if you think about it, otherwise he halt on the horse. Anyways, so but then they went to the gang in the war, and with the Romans, and he was victorious. He wasn't to be played with. He was also a spiritual leader. Again, it wasn't just a general. Again, busy field. They get on the ganze Sache. Kids said Machalis with all types of healing and all that. Then, so they knew that, I guess, to save himself. They also knew he was business himself. He was a general. So there was assassination, whatever, he went along with it. Yeah, one of his close ones. So then when the Romans came in and they killed Sigana Schita that Nishtam, and they were so angry that they lost by group the bodies, maar gemacht a geume van die bodies. For hoeveel uur? Hoeveel?
52.
52 uur? 52 is lang genomen. Oké, wat zie je lang gezet? We kids are nice, but hand on my matter next like my can't groom the given. Anyway, so back to Ba'ov. So Ba'ov is the day that, if you look at all the things that happened today, and also that there was a day of relationship where people were able to go into the field and ask for the chassidum, and people that were showing love. Tamer me given pretty gezoekt ik beschijnig ben. Tamer is me given van Rachel was gezoekt. The kid is the money. Come to the money. Tamer is given Nicht only kick by a fast then it's a kick of the mishpucha, keep what's going, look at what's going on inside, look what I have inside, and this is what Chassidus and the Gemara talks about it. This is what was going on that day. So to bring out that level of innocence, that level of purity, that was a tremendous amount of light to be able to generate here. And we understand that the sun, the Zin, is connected to Ein Sof, it's connected to the endless power. And this is the day that it turns on Severe the Heislet, and it's in full engagement in Yichud and the Levun. So there is massive opportunity to be able to rise above any type of fazetzkeit, any type of arugischlepkeit, any type of because whatever it is that we're dealing with is just a fungus. And I know the fungus in the right side, I know the fungus on the left side, but it's just a fungus. It's a deterioration of the nuchash, it's a deterioration. Forget about deterioration, is given it too much credit. It's literally a fazetzta stock energy that you're holding on to with the wheels in your brain, because this is your belief system, and the digging is to figure out, first of all, what you're holding on to, and then once you figure out what you're holding on to, being able to see the potential of the person, being able to, what do you want, what's your potential, and with that you're able to push through and open up and release that verkwetschkeit in the cup, which then releases the verkwetschkeit in your stomach and everywhere else, and you can open up and start receiving to be able to see each other the way the time that's out from Beis Hamikdash. To be able to see each other from a level of presence, to see each other from a level of das. Very, very powerful positive judgment. Going deeper, 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 using the resistance, using the resentment to go deeper within self and to be able to project a better picture. And sometimes the picture may get stuck because the other side is not ready, but you got to keep going. Which let's go to the app. It's 72. What that means, 72. So we know that there is upside Ma'aben, the four Shaimas, that holds everything together. This is where the ganze creation was created from, these four Shaimas. And Olam, you have Akudim, Nukudim, and Berudim. No. Yes, Akudim, Nukudim, Berudim, yes. Akud and Berudim, the one after one, and then the Nukudim, which is the Berudim, which is the hell that we're in. But the Varti, the Indian is, I'm going to say hello to everybody in a minute. I just want to show them. Yeah, ik kan het zullen we ook so the Varti is, so everything comes from these four Shems. And then you have every Shem is spelled out, has its way of spelled out. So you have Yitkavuvke, which is the highest, just a crash course, just to get to a point. Let's go like this. 1 + 1 = 2, yeah? It's cool, yeah? It's nice. 50 + 50. 300 + 400. 700. Right? V is a Zibn Hinder. V is a Zibn. What's my Zibn Hinder? What's my is a Zibn Hinder? Now that it's 700, what does it mean?
700 times 1.
1 second. Klapavuz, exactly. So Klapavuz, very good. Klapavuz, had men decided, als Zibn Hinder meint het. Klapavuz. Was er Schier kan kopen? Wie groß, whatever. Zo zalig is het. Was er de value of Zibn Hinder? Wil het sigaret kan kopen? Was er de weinig drink? Was meint Zibn Hinder? Fine, so now that you know this, you can go with that. Fine, Zibn Hinder to me means 700 + 700, this plus another 700, whatever. It's his geld, can tool tuition. I can buy food, I can buy whatever I need, clothing, whatever I need. Whatever the number means to you. And it makes you feel good. Ze klapt, ze stimmt. Especially if you have numbers, you need to figure it out. Du schuldig, dat schuldig, ja. Het is gelaan. Dus is de geld, dus is de zaak, ja. So different numbers are going to trigger different places in you. I number is like, feel good. bekend wat zo als viel geht als gespannt en eins dit zwei du eins ist in Kopf lauf aufkommen und darf es decken ja und es ist wenn es geht set up a pressure für Kopf jeder number is going everything jeder number relax different numbers are gonna activate different parts within yourself. So you have the Shaimas have different ways the way we look at it. So the Shem Ab is 72, Ayin Bai is 72. It's the Shem Amforish, and there's different ways of how to write out this, because it has the front, it has the back, the Purim and the Charaim, and then you have the Malchus. So you have different ways of how you count this number. Some Yid Kavuvka means Shem Ab. Then you have Yid Kavuvka, that means that it's spelled out, it comes out the number, the Misper is 72. So it's 10 letters, and the Misper is 70. Then you have 10 letters, can I get the same sphere? It's going to do with the numbers. Es hat Zahn ausgespelt mit 10 letters, Yid Kavuvka, Yaakov, Yid, but es hat ausgegeben mit 10 Oisies, aber the number can sein 30 oder 60, going to do with them. Because that's why we see it. So on and so forth. Then you have combination upon combination, can go up to 4,000, 5,000, until different on how they energy, their koer gaat sich ausspreiten and effenen, depending on how low you are, how low we are, and wie ich bin verquetscht. Also mehr darf sich effenen der Oisies, der Shem Ab darf sich jetzt effenen, sie darf dealen mit 3 Sachen für Shabbos, und mit der Chalas, mit der Jens, mit der Geld, mit der Payroll, mit der ganze Sache, ja. So so it means that now the letters opened up even so much more. Because when you're in perfect alignment, all you need is one thing to be present. When there's vacation, whatever it is for you, whatever that place is with the family, Friday night, or by the beach, whatever it is, then all you need is one thing. So it's just Yid Kavuvka. You just need one thing to put you into alignment. Versus when mitten the Vach and sometimes full expansion, over-expanded, which is already in Gematrius, which means the number of number equals the number. Who's meint is gunish, but there's a connection. So do epis, do a connection. I can connect and pull out different ways. So that is basing it against something, right? I'm basing my number against my was I can kaufen. I'm basing my number about what I accomplished, even duvisha b'gdusha. That is still set up that I'm basing my center based on what's is available for me. But then there is a way of seeing the combination punum b'punum, Yid Kavuvka Shem Ab, which is Chachma, which is why is 72 72? Why is 72 72? Who says 72 72? What does 72 mean? Who's mind 72? What does it mean 72? Who's mind 1000? Who's mind 72? What's 70? What's Shem Ab? In these letters, what does that mean? And it fits when you understand that there is different combinations on how you can write the Shem Ab, and then when you see it in this way, just in Yid Kavuvka in 4 letters, which means to translate that into more Olam Asiyah, that you are in alignment with where you're at. Als geendigt bis geht, jetzt bist du sitzt bei deinem Tisch, and you're just at peace, right? That is aligning the Shem Ab all the way down here in Olam Asiyah. But why it's 72? When you ask that question, why it's supposed to 72, you're punam b'punam damals mit Chachma. Because Kacha, that's what he said. What do you mean? What's mine 72 before? What's mine 72? Why not 84? What's the difference? Why not 84? But when you open up the letters, Yid Kavuvka, and it's 72, it's perfect alignment. Ausdu gaat es ran in Mispin, es ist an Intellekt. Es ist nicht gemachte Sachen. Wenn du nimmst die Ois, habst du den Richten, dann nimmst du daraus ein Ois, und dann wird es an Mispin. Du wird es an Gematria. Und es stimmt 100%. Es fällt eins, es ist so komplex, but whatever you turn it, es ist so stimmt. Es stimmt. That is Chachmas Hashem. That is Kulam Chachmas Isa. That is the Chachma fin in the Bashavir. And when you understand that, you're having a moment of Chachma, of aligned with the Yid Kavuvka. So Tu B'Av is that time of the year that we're simply aligning. I don't know. What am I aligning? If it's a Yefas I'm aligning with my beauty. If it's my mishpucha, what does it mean? What do I stand for? Then I'm aligning. I'm going into a relationship with that. If it's not a good looking, then there's money. Then I'm aligning with my ashiras. Which actually the Rebbe writes that I was bothered by what he means. It's a Frau is kicking so shine. Jede Jüdische Frau is shine. Jede Jüdische Frau ist fast der I, wo ist eins nicht eins. Wo ist im Gehirn der Gemüse. Aber gesagt, dass wer ist schön und wer ist nicht. Because they some gehad Geld and there was some nicht gehad Geld. They couldn't get to it, but they said there's beauty everywhere. Because we're talking here about something that is inside. It's not an outside beauty, because the outside is the nuchash, that's the snake, that's the judgment. That's when the minute they ate from the Eitz Hadas, they all of a sudden said that they're naked. They cover themselves. What do you mean naked? Who told you you're naked? How did you find out that you're naked? What does it mean naked? They felt judgment, body shame. They just felt the bite of the snake. They felt the bite of episode gebadet. And as episode gebadet, and I want to express that I've gone baden and darten, and I've zurück baden. So now, the crickets. And so I have to go hin and zurück, and now one activation, and one back, and then to the kid, and it's over. The ganze Welt. Beep, 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 beep. Jeder Chochem kommt daran mit andere Weg. We so to manipulate and to keep the organism in the low vibration. In some places it was communism, some places it was poverty, and some places there's massive abundance. So it's not massive abundance, and if you look around, I was walking today with my brother when we were going in the park, and as we kick, the people are just sitting, and there's no purpose. There's no purpose. Like back in the time of the Samigdash, there was the guy got purpose. He was dying for something. he had tzigaritas or something. He for his belief in every way possible. Either in the front in the war, either in their religion. He killed or got killed. Then I'm coming on. They're marching. They're protesting a lot to I think to legalize abortions. But they're marching for this guy, for that guy. It's weak, it's empty plastic buckets, nothing. So that is looking from that's the snake. That is when we're looking at the Chatzonis, and it's hard to get out of it. But talking about Tu B'Av, this is the day that it heats up for real. It gets very hot, so you can push through. What does it mean pushing through? Pushing through is when you're feeling any type of restriction, any type of judgment, just push through. Just push it away. You can just push it away until you feel good. If you need to go for a fast walk to raise your heart rate, so then you can just sit down and allow it to push, then push through. This is the level of Ge'ilah that's happening tonight. This is when the Ruach, Kitche Berichi, which is Ruach, is making a yichud mit Malchus, which is us, and it's a day after, nicht a day, it's nicht a day. Okay, so after the Srafas of the English, fine. That's the day. Today's Yagwin, not a specific day. The day that the Dara Midbar is gestorben, Doviget gestorben. So the way it worked is that every year, on Tisha B'Av had Moshe gesagt, Guy groept zijn keer griebe en lijkt zijn keer aan. Because again the gezeire van de Meraglim. So for 40 years, the Abishta gesagt, jeder eine von 20 bis 60 is going to die over the next 40 years. I'm not going to kill them in one shot. I'm not going to do that. 600,000, yeah, 600,000. But I'm going to, every year, get, Weerse hit 60 is going to go. Or something like that. I think that, or yeah, it had to be because they finished the year, but then only they're all 15,000 grib. Mach ich gesehen, there's no 15,000 on the grub. And was gerangelt, like, man says gegangen. So, bekitzer amas,
20 and 60, right?
what?
Between 20 and 60.
20 and 60. So, was gerangelt, in Zifri, wes is overgestanden, is rausgekommen en weer nicht, op een grub. So, kommen de laatste Jahr.
Wer hat Zimmer gelebt?
Wer ist
Wer Menschen haben Zimmer gelebt?
jede, so die Kinder sind gewonnen größer. Kurden hast du gehabt von 20 bis 60, wirst du gehen 59 mit dem Anaglam oder 45, er gelegt noch ein paar Jahre. So every year.
Ah.
And the new generation came.
Die Jürgen im Strahlen, dann alle
Mhm.
Come on.
Come on, yeah.
So came the laatste Jahr, en ze gaan aangelegd in de Griebe, en Zifri, keiner is gestorben. Jeder hat auf dem Kopf, jeder ist op. Gibst du Auto? Okay. Sie hat sich aus, man gemacht Tattoos mit der Tug. Man gemacht Tattoos mit der Tug, lass mal zurück angehangen, auch. So, sie gehen Jidbau, zurück angegangen, Zifri Water aufgestanden. Also gegangen bis 13, 14, so haben gemeint, haben gemacht Tattoos mit der Lagune, man macht Tattoos mit dem Kiddischer Heudisch. Kids, sie kommen der 15. Tag, wenn sie schon gewähnt, der Sahara Beschleimutz, sie gehen in Full Glory, der Lagune geschahen, haben sie gewiss sicher, haben sie gemacht Tattoos mit dem Heudisch. Und dann haben sie gesehen, haben sie gesagt, okay, kann sein, der Aufstieg hat bewattelt wie in der Geseide. Aber meiste ist, der Geseide nicht gewähnt von 20, gewähnt von 21 bis 60. Sie sind gewähnt der 20. So sie sind nicht gewähnt davon. So imagine living the whole time for 40 years. Thinking that you're right there. Okay, that's called holding space, you know. And you think, right, tightrope walking. You think you're having it so
It's their
intense.
challenge.
Huh?
This is our challenge.
Das ist ein ganzer Challenge. Ein ganz hier wissen, weißt, du musst was sich gerät. Fine. So the matzav is, so this hat dann auch again, sie gewinnen in Tuba auf is gewinnen, the Tug wenn sie am auch wird starten von der Chette Maraglim. So all these things tell you the level of energy that it's generated to be able to push through all this choshech, to level up, to cash out and cash in on all the hardship and everything that has happened, to be able to take it into the radical forgiveness. So that's what's happening tonight. So we have the Shem Ab, staying focused on that, understanding that after you understand and after you feel, there just is. That is the place, that's the place of Das, that is what does 72 mean? Why is it 72? Where in the brain is there an alignment with that number? With the 72. Where in my brain and in the Das, in the back of the head, where, where is there an alignment, which means that it's okay, that 72 is 72. And it's... What?
It's the hype from the Oasis. It's not just a number. Eat Kai, Wolf Kai. The milli, the 5 milli eat.
Yeah, but I'm going deeper than the Oasis. We said the Oasis for Yitka, we have Mispur, Gematria, and then there's the energy, that's just the Koyach, because Tu Ba'av is beyond Oasis. It's where the Zin is fully aligned. Again, the Zin is the fire that is connected, a source, massive force, source coming connected, the same way we are connected.
It's the Eid. Kitzashi.
Not the Kitzashi, the Yid, because it's Chachma, if you want to say that. Kitzashi is Kesser. The Zin is Chachma, is Abba. But fine, it's connected, it's the Chachma is connected, the antenna is connected to Kesser, which means that as we walk around, you're constantly sparking, you're constantly activating, you're generating, you're charging. The thoughts that we have, that's what's happening around you at that time. And we are the thoughts. Whatever thoughts I'm having, that's what I am at that time. Just like a candle. That's whatever thoughts I'm having, that's what I am at that time. And sometimes thoughts are sent, and you are forced into a certain thought, which is going to create a certain reality for yourself, which is specifically that when we go to sleep, thank you for that, when we go to sleep, is if you're not protected when you go to sleep, you see stuff. And dus kan zijn als de inne van een slechte goelem. You see stuff, and when you see stuff, you're becoming that, because that's what you saw, that's what you're thinking, depending on how deep you saw it. And then when you wake up and you see from that place, now you're creating that.
When you're protected, when you
I'm going to get that in a minute. You see that I'm a little, you know, I'm a little reserved to go there. You know, what to mean protected? Of course we're going to go there. Negelwasser, Kriya Shema. Fully protected, because you're an energy. You know, when you're going to sleep, you are open and vulnerable, just like the cricket. And different entities. Anyways, the vart is that there's limitations, of course. So, you know, especially today, there's limitations as to how much access there can be. But regardless, to go to sleep, important what you eat. What you eat. If you eat low vibration, then you're going into that place and you're having a dream. Because Rav Nachman talks about that. It's not hot. I just feel bad for other people. But fine, as long as let's just hold space. Okay. Heat generates energy. Trick is not to sweat. You can't crack. You gotta hold. If you crack, then you crack. You gotta hold. Wasser mit Honig, Eiswasser mit Honig. Is that is that deze the chulam is deze me'est. Whatever we eat, that's a chulam. What does it mean? Whatever we eat, and he says wenn ze willen geessen is, and ook wenn ze wo ze gegessen vaden, wo ze gegessen nog them. Because ze gegessen the strawberry vaden and the bread nog them, or the bread vaden nog them. Why? It's like writing a sentence. If you write the bais al kodem or the alef kodem. So alles gaat eraan. Alles is oisius. Alles is tzirifim. And that's why the strawberries here are sour. They're not really sweet. I've been struggling with it this season because the vibration over here is the tzirif and this, there. In another place, could be it's different. So says Nachman, yes, to be careful what you eat because basically that's going to be also pushing the chalamis. And then there is different levels. There's different levels of the chulam where you go into, which, yes, good question. Different levels is that, yes, that we're living through an organism, that we're all connected and we're receiving and we're connected to the source, but there's a higher vibration, a higher frequency, which is halogen, translucent, which is Bluetooth. Then you're completely offline from Pare, which is similar to what happens when we go under the Vasa, the Mikveh. That we're going offline, we're disconnecting from the organism, when we're going off the radar for a few minutes. For as long as you're under the water, you're going off the radar. Right? That's why there was in the communism back in the day, there was big opposition taking for mikvahs and all that. Today, Pare has a different system in America, so he's not against it, so fine. He has different ways of getting it going. To conclude, it's important that cleans out the system, going into the Vasir, that cleans out the system, which means that it's clearing, resetting the Osius, and ultimately when entering the place, when aligning with your center, with your Das Teferes, when seeing from that place where the number 72 is 72 oder so gesucht. Again, there's different numbers that I can connect with, which means something to me. $10,000, my guy sagt $20,000, $150,000. It means different things to me. But Hashem Abid Kavuvka meint etwas anders for me. And whatever that means is the Chachmas Aboire, which is a massive alignment of this type of understanding. This type of understanding, which is intellect, is Chachma. Intellect is, let's talk about intellect. The power of intellect. There's different there's different ways of communicating, there's different ways of making change, there's different ways of different doctors, different healers. So there is dealing with the issue and figuring it out, pushing it this way, like moving Legos, moving the maze this way, that way. It's you're pushing, but you're still in the congestion. And then there is going into the intellect, going into the chachma, going and seeing it from the place where it needs to be, and then it's going to figure itself out. So the detail, intellect doesn't know the detail. I mean, he sees the end result. He's not busy with the detail. Yeah? Intellect doesn't, Chachma doesn't, es machen the right turn, the left turn, and this, the Rovgan, the market, the Rugan. Intellect sees the end result right there, and he never stops seeing the end result. He's not fazed by nothing. And it's going to figure itself out, and he keeps holding space. Why? Because he's connected to the Keser. The Koetzer Shliit is connected to the Keser, which is where it's the Melech, Tanugim, Rutzen, the will, connected to the will. The will means that, what do you want? If you know what you want, you're pushing through all the whole Yontzeh Chazara. You're pushing everything through if you know what you want. Different places is harder to know what you want. It's much easier to know what you want if you live out there in the mountain. You know what you want. It's easy what you want. You want to be at peace. Who doesn't want peace? And if you live lower down, then in the city, sometimes you question if you even want peace. Like, who wants peace? Peace is just boring. Too many issues, right? If you plant down Husta, what are the chances that you come and you find organic honey, raw honey? Of course, properly trained, and that's what it is. So bekitzer am eins, wie man gefunden dus, maar je bent in tevredes daar knowing, en nog meer gangen naar iets anders, wie gaan nog Wie?
Intellect sees the entire picture.
So the intellect sees the entire picture, and that is
Finding the peace in the business.
yes, that's the job once you're out there, which means the combination of the tziruf, the yidkai, vuvkai is created, shvis Hashem lanek disum, which means that ich lebe in advaikis agantzen. What does that mean? What does that mean, that lebe in advaikis? That I can see through, penetrate, and carve out in any type of choshech. I can see through, and then depending on where you're at that time, sometimes you need to do action, you need to do binah, you have to be smart, and sometimes you need to go to intellect. You have to go check into some strong intellect to be able to be mashpia and plant that seed that it opens up. Very important. The diet is important at this place. And this stage, again, is very important, the diet, because the diet meaning like even OUD. What does it mean, OUD? Chabad, we're very much with an OUD. Which is, by the way, it's not an easy undertaking, OUD. Because whenever you travel and you finally fine, I want something, and you finally find that bar that you want, perfect, and the ingredients are good, and it's already healthy also now, and it has an OUD in it, and wow, it's really, this is really not so simple. Back to the dried apricots. Okay. But I wanted a piece of chocolate.
Dried apricots? Or you?
No, saying back to the dried apricots. Just forget about the chocolate one. Right? Okay. So why is it important? Because once you go into that state of Chachma, once you have a shpur from Chachma, from the intellect, that is the seed, the tippus moich av. And it flashes. It doesn't ask you when. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know vivus, what can trigger this moment that you're having a breakthrough, you're having a moment of clarity. Wow. Other you know what, I have to start working out. I have to, whatever it is. I have to make this deal, that deal, whatever. Whenever, you don't know when that comes. Like mitamul, I'm sleeping, buy this building, but then there's this energy, let's do this. And it's like that you don't know when it's going to come. So when that yichud happens, and if the olive base in your system is not 100%, then you're going to have a child that you're going to have to you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to hire therapy for him. He's going to give you a run. Okay. That's why it's important. And why, and how do you break something that's already there? How do you break something that's already, if you already made a connection and it's heavy? That is the koich, once again, the koich of Chachma, the koich of Bittul, the koich Ma. Koich Ma is not the other Shem, Absag Ma Ben, which is also Ma 45 days to the Shoshuna, we'll get to that soon. So then you go into koich ma. What is koich ma? The absolute surrender. Now listen to surrender. Surrender is very tricky. Surrender is very tricky because sometimes you're going to come across weak. Sometimes you're going to be taken advantage of. And sometimes you very well are taken advantage of, and you are weak because you're in chachma, you're in surrender. But going in there, then you're not in surrender. So, what do I do?
And it's not Yish either, right?
What's that?
It's not Yish either.
No, it's not Yish. Absolutely not. You're not Yish. You have the thumb is right on your raw spot. You're feeling it, and you're like you want to. What do I do? Do I surrender, let go, or do I step into it and get pulled into it, and then you just surrender?
Which means?
You surrender. You surrender.
in,
Like I was
stepping
told
away.
today. Like I was told today. Besser te zijn aan nirde v'yarodev. Stole by my mishpit today. Besser te zijn aan nirde v'yarodev. Okay.
Even though you show up weak, at least it seems so. So the last of trade.
So 1 second. Hold on. 1 second.
That's the victim.
Okay. So that's the avoider.
What's
That's
the victim?
To what level do you feel that you think that you're in charge, or do you understand that alles wird zu verlangen? Oh, but ich bin weak. So the master jetzt hast du ja choice. But I'm taking advantage of. So the house says bis du gehst einbestellen, was nur dass du schon nicht benehmen jetzt.
Du meine Stadas.
Okay, so your status is to go into bittul. Shut up.
You didn't knock on the
So in other words, going into Bittul means being a victim.
In other words,
Looks like.
one second. That's what I said. It's very hard. It's a hard job because until you're not cleaning yourself and you still have from the fungus, you're going to come across as a victim to yourself, and painful and weak. It's a process, and it's not. I'm just giving you the tuba of version of it. I'm not telling you to go do that tomorrow. I'm giving you the tuba of version of it is where it's at. We're going to the intellect, and we'll tell you why we're going to the intellect after. So, going into the koyach ma, going into the level of surrender, and guess what? Before I'm jumping to the end, just in case I'm going to forget to say it, because amazing miracles happen when you go into the koyach ma. Amazing things happen when you surrender. Things take care of itself because you're dealing with the intellect. And the intellect knows the end of the game. Kleine Gerder en een patchke erin. What?
The surrender is a level van een minute.
One second. Nog eens bekend een minute doen. Zeg eigenlijk van een minute. Het is vader minute. Nog dan komt een minute. Vader minute. What?
Aber es ist nicht am Surrender mit einer Intention. Alles mit Surrender.
Very soft.
You're not always going to know what you're surrendering. Look, 1
It's a
second.
very soft topic. It's the number one question.
Als er zelfmaat nog zo het gillen, het is little, had het over intention.
Of course, so that's what we said. We said going into Rutzen, what do you want? Going the Chachma is connected to Kesed. The Kesed is the bottom part of Kesed is the Rutzen. The higher top part of Kesed is Oinik. Right? So I'm going into my Rutzen. What do I want? That clears the path. It clears the way. It clears the way. It opens up everything.
So what do you do is 1 day or 2 days. The next 2 day.
Ik ga eens kijken. De eerste gaan we
Dus we gaan doen een concept van een 10 for a couple of hours.
No. To do what for a couple hours?
To surrender, like
Yeah.
do
Say
for 2
that.
days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever it is, we're just sharing the information. The Wuzban is a whole different story. Whatever that means to you. To some people, it may mean to take action. Opposite. That's the chachma. We're just using, and what creates, what gives birth, the koich ma and dan. Those are the two shamas that give birth to the ganze tzilus program. So we understand that when you're going into ma, going into the koich of surrender. But before that, Walter is going important detour. We know if I'm going to shmish as koich ma surrender.
Even a creation was a bit off. With surrender, you can fix that.
how do you no, that's another point. How do you fix that by going into surrender? Because you're going into matnas chinam. That's what we spoke about on Friday. We're going into matnas chinam. Matnas chinam is that, and I think that's the nakuda that I didn't point out over there. It's not easy like talking to yourself every Friday. So the vart is that, so by going into, so let's go like this. What's the importance of going into Radlaw, to going into the place of unknown? You go into the meditation, why, when I go to the place of what I finally have a moment of peace, I'm shut down. The Kappa Tzechos Galashin, after like whatever you're breathing or whatever else you were doing, and now finally, it's still, it's a minute of peace. When you're going into the moment of peace, is once again, you're making contact with the Tachas Apshitas, with the highest vibration that is not in relationship to anything else, but with itself, with its own Einik, with its own Tainik. That's the Kesed. Because as long as I receive, because as long, if I receive something while I'm still for something, days, it's 10 days. If I receive something for something, then I'm still, ich bin noch halt zigeben, ja, macht es ein bisschen Platz, lass mal an. Ich bin noch halt zigeben, to what I'm in a relationship with. Als ich 10 days for dir, jetzt 60 days zurück von dir, is the level wo sich bekommt zurück, is noch halt ungewöhnlich, hat ich 10 days, aber es ist mir zurück gerne zu. En a viele, wenn jenen will geben mehr, bin ich noch halt an einer Platz, wie ich bekomme schon zu viel, wenn es wird so viel. Wie viel kann ich, was ich einen getan, hat ich mir zurück, und es wird, sagt mir ein bisschen, you're in a relationship with something. But when I'm going into absolute silence, when I'm going into Radlah, when I'm going into the place of silence, that's when I'm asking for a place of matnas chinam. I'm asking for a place, not because I have to bring this down right now. You're making that yichud from that place. You're sending out that pulse up, and then you can receive from that place. Not in relationship to something which sikim taran and chesed, and it's coming straight down from the kesed. That I'm sending out an intention. Matnas chinam, because I want to learn, because I want to understand, because I want to be at peace, not tied into anything. Gunish yatim et gunish. And that's what the whole Veschana is. When Moshe was triggering, he had the koyach to ask for something, but he asked for something for nothing. Because he wanted to make that kesher, that connection to the kesher, where we can from there create anything we want, rather than, it's similar probably to the Akkad spiel, where the Akkad is all the way up there to, like you're going into these oidas where there's levels and levels. Oh, you're locked up. You're not going to. That was good. Okay. Huh? Good. No, it's good. Okay. It's the air lifted those. So, relationship. Wie wir gewähnt? Akaida is given the Avrum Yitzchak is gegangen an a Platz in Oid where there is no, it's light years, let's call it as light years and light years away of any type of expression. And a Platz is macht us bechlal kan sense. There is just Oid, there's just such a thin Oid that du in kikt zoals wie a tata shecht a kind. That's how you can trigger that level of nothingness. Like with nothing else, it's gonna. The shechst behind will fine. It's good to feel good. Als de aangehalten van etwas and you gave your tzeduk and you did a chesed, but to go and shecht your own son. When we're talking about Avrum, which is chesed, it wasn't pretending. Avrum was chesed. Kindness. You ever met a kind person in the world? Avrum was the balabus of kindness, of chesed. So there was no shechting a son. But he was such a merkuvah to the zach that he was able to do that too. And he landed in Akit, in Akidim, that's where he landed, galakt an ultimate sacrifice to Yitzchak. So that's the place that we still have language all the way up to such a place. Nobody can reach that level because nobody has the level of bittul of Yitzchak. Yitzchak is Gevira. Yitzchak is Bina. All the way to such a level of tzimtzum, we're holding the breath probably for 3 years, no problem. Which he again for 3 years. which means, technically speaking, he was holding his breath. Nog dat Akkad is er aan genaan van 3 jaar.
Wer, Avram?
Yitzchak. Vayatz Yitzchak, Akkad hat sich geendigt, en Yitzchak wacht daaraan en is doe mee. I'm going to be back later. Avram can him zijn, but he's in a different place. Yitzchak is not a korban oil, is an aangang in Ganan, is right here, but we can't see him. It's a different vibration, different.
Yitzchaks gisteren gewen Grassi die Avrams van...
Gewinnt de korban oil. Beide am Gas, gearbeitet zusammen. In der Tat, gewinnt gacht mit binnen, ze haben gemacht da Yichid. Avram is right brain, Yitzchak is left brain. Some combine something, how to make this massive Yichid.
Sein Design the Welt for the future level.
Right? So, was able to hold, which means that certain things that are happening in the world and certain things that are going to be coming, which as the prophet, the Nuvi says, it's going to get pretty intense, that people will just explode just from the idea of what's happening. Where you had on October 7, not everybody has the column to deal with it. Not everybody has the column to deal with it. It's very intense. Versus some people are, if you have Torah, you have a minna, you understand that we're driving here for something bigger. And people are sending kids to the army, and mashluktich, and like tefillin, and there's big operations because we're not broken. We understand, and we can hold that too. I can understand that too. Not that I can, nicht als ich kann es verstehen. Ich kann nur mal Platz in tiefer, where I can hold space for such horrific situation. So that was Avram Yitzchak. Now Moshe did a similar thing with the Veschanan, that he was asking for a place. He was going to a place of matnas chinam, going to a place of for nothing, holding, and we're dealing here with everything is on the line. Remember, you're an Eved Nena, sacrifice your life, die ganze Leben, talking about victim and bittul, sacrifice sein ganze Leben für Klaus. So mit dem Rausgehen für sein Peace, gewinnt fine. Gewinnt in Midian, gewinnt Vater Makenik, gewinnt, he was good.
Left his wife, his family.
And 40 Jahre und nehmen schon jetzt fertig zu sehen. Gehen wir Wasser, gehen wir durch, bis da fake, bis durch. And the challenging and from the koirach, the top. Yeah, the top level is challenging him. Koirach, I mean, it could have actually flashed something in Moshe, like, 1 second. Koirach is like, but there was no such thing, because he was das. He was so present.
He did that. I shouldn't have talked to you. You gave Lapunov.
What?
It Yogi in space for him. But you Lapunov. In the space for him.
Ich trage mich zu den Mannen, ich habe gesehen, dass wir hier Lapunov, ich denke, ich habe nicht was gesagt, but ich habe es moeilijk zu sagen, weil man redet von das.
No, it hat
gegeben. But it's gerecht, yeah, but to some extent.
Ja.
That Efsche nicht, dass es nicht gehört geht.
No, hat den gegeben, space Efsche, du a kleine Pizza.
Yes, it's true, yes. So, redt man von level of bittul. But then he went straight to the Abishter and negotiated. He said, "Neem na jana karbonas, and I want you to take care of them. That's it, done." He didn't ask for anything. He just killed him. I think it's the first time. He's like, "I'm from there." He said, "Don't go." You have to clear it. Garnish, neem na jana mincha, and I want you to stick up for me.
In the Pnimi is when a mensch kommt an als Surrender, als a Platz von Bittel, von der Greb, dann gerät für ihr. This is the space in the fall that we have by Plapon of Efshir do a space at the Munish Gerek. Efshir is Yene Yoga. So long as then it's a day Platz as maybe here Munish Gerek. And then it's Kim Dash School von euch.
Okay, so what you're saying with the Zux is mehr, there was a Simegashim, but the Zux not please.
Yeah.
Okay. Gemacht space for what happened was the Pharaoh is Kurich came at him. And Moshe went into his throat, the higher part of the fetus, and he gemacht place for the Tana, and when he made contact, that's when Altai from
the man of Moshe given, they given above voices and they given below voices. Oh, this is the man. They given by the will. So get off spielen are a sensitive game.
It is das. The cup is doing, the body is doing. So what happened was, so you have, so we began with Koirach, Tafel noch das sei, warte. Red me von Bittel, drin von Bittel. So bittul, skin bittul. Matnas Kinnim. So Tu B'Av is a time, is a tzat announcing on a Matnas Kinnim, to go into a place of connecting to your roots, of what it is that you want, and more than what it is what you want, trusting to go to a place to just want. It's not what you want. What you want tomorrow. You'll figure out tomorrow and the next day and the next week with the vist, with the deck and with the davstein. But for tonight is to just to go to want. Go to a place of want. Just to want. But there's nothing to be masada. Just go into a place of just want, and that's gonna open up, just like when you have sometimes a clogged nostril and then the news is in your life and then it just opens up. You know that one that opens up and then drills a hole in your head? That one that you're waiting for the whole time? You know what I'm talking about? Yes?
Yeah.
Matthew, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Okay, so so that type of opening will open when you go into your roots of what it is that you want. What's village? I don't know. What do I want?
Just by asking the question.
What?
Just by asking the
Just by feeling the question. I want. Ich will. Feeling the question. I want. Ich will. Du hast ein will. Was ist angeplagt in 10 Sachen. The hose, the Geld, the Wab, the Kinder, mein Business, mein Fahren. Yeah? So taking all that back, you know, the searchlight, right? We should have message. Finding the searchlight. What was it? Make contact with the searchlight? Finding the searchlight? What's the search? There's a searchlight over here. There's a searchlight right here. That searchlight trug plaatsen. Het kan voor ik bedoel, the searchlight, gezicht. Het kan toch nemen upstate, downstate, it's the searchlight. I'm going into my searchlight. So the searchlight is already, throughout the year, you're sometimes miles away from your searchlight. The ziyich, something that doesn't even interest you. Right? So somebody once told me, you want to buy something? That was still the time when whatever I wanted, I bought it. Right away. Couldn't wait. I've kaufen. I have to buy it. Why not? I have to. So at that time, it's like just write it down. First write it down, and wait 7 days. Right? All of a sudden, you need nothing. Who's nafstin? Because after it's that urge, it's got to weg. That's what you mean. But the problem is that we're stuck in the search. We're stuck at somewhere in the middle of the searchlight. Go back to why are you searching? Vuzichich. And tonight, has to the koyach to go to that place. You have the koyach to get to that place. To why I'm looking, what I'm looking for. I wouldn't mind playing a song, but the license was in ding. Yeah, I'm going into my searchlight. And there it tells me to be silent. You know what? We can.
Jag står sång och det syns som jag inte annan salé. Jag general Peters.
We gaan resken. Was ik stil? Was ik stil?
Beim Beresten hast du einen Platz wie die Controls mit der Stecken. Ja, general.
Das geht von einem Part zum zweiten.
Similarly, then he's got up. Very tense first.
Jetzt weiß ich Pinkel, wo der ist.
Oi.
Yeah,
We
actually.
need your guidance, Mike.
You need my guidance?
Oui.
What's that?
The world needs your guidance.
I know. I also need my guidance. I don't know. I need my guidance too.
We need to cut it through.
Yeah, but I'm finding my guidance. It's 45 days to finding my guidance. Yeah, but I've read like it's Shabbos, ווייס, I know it's not it's not happening, ווייס Shabbos. Just busy with other, yeah, I don't know if it's a story or if I'm talking busy with other,
What do you want?
Huh?
What do you want?
If I wanted it, I would put something on, but I don't want it. The question is, if I don't want it, if it's legit, why I don't want it, or I should want it. And the fact that I don't want it is not going to get to that. Emes? Zayn Emes.
Oi, vai.
Ein Chochma, ein Yere. Wie ist Mechi? Mechi an Alil? Ein Chochma, ein Yere. Which means that when going into the process of right. So that's not Chachma, of course. Yeah. Well, yeah. Mein Chachma Yira was mind that if you're going into the level of Chachma, you're understanding the power, the koyach, Ein Sof, the yichida, the whatever you need to connect to within you, your roots, then it goes from victim, it goes to awe. It goes from victim, it goes to empowerment. The koyach ma, and the koyach ma is as if the koyach ban, and from there it can create new oiris to fill in the new kailam, which means that you can fill your new kailam. You can fill your kailam with new oiris. Tu bav. It's clear? Anybody wants to be masker or something for the yeah, I saw your text. Huh? I saw that, but you told me yeah, so that's why.
Okay, thank you.
But I can do it.
Yes.
Should the text. Might have been supplied, huh? Nijmegen. Slechte morgen. Supporters can only try to understand. So het gaat van de hart, wie er officieel aan. Anybody else? Who did I have in mind today? Shadichem, maar oké, vergessen, oké, nog een probleem. Shadichem, de rest, wat heißt de gozen? Sabor van Blin, Sabor van Blin, oké, dat is eraan aan de Blin onder. Sorry. Dat is eraan aan de Blin. Dat is eraan aan de Blin aan de hart. was that? Something very colorful is coming. Huh? Weißt du, was du zu reden? Was du zu reden? Something very colorful is coming.
Hi.
Een wazig kleid met leaves, blue leaves and like reddish, like dark red leaves on the dress. Mazel tov. Yes.
Ich bin also ziemlich, ich meine, als ich verliebe gehen. Mit Wachet warte ich mich von einem zum anderen extrem. Heilige Beschef in meinem Leben bin ich das same. Auf wen warte ich auf, ich gehe schon nicht um das Brain. Ich muss es so bedienen, ich muss mich wasen, was ich kenne. Ich kann nicht breire, und mich ich werde. Ich habe aber nicht mäßig, was ich darf denn wie wenn. Ich gehe fort daran und kriege ich ziemlich und brenn. Jeder Step ist bitte schwer, ich gehe noch als System. Ich schaue da auf meine Feelings, ich gehe wie eine Maschine. Ich meine, ich möchte schon Feeling, geht her, war der Lampe grün. Wie bin ich zurück im Planter, ich weiß nicht wie ahin. Bei Itzem bin ich sehr, geht ich aber aus der Sache. Ein Regen später setze ich auf und nicht an der Sprache. Ich bin also stark, nein, ich bin also schwach. Ich kenn, bla bla bla. Ich krach. Wir fangen noch einmal. Ja, ich weiß, ich bin ein Mensch, was ich der Grach. Hör, was bist du schon warte, diese Kosmer Allah. Ich bin sehr hoch, almost reach ich der Dach. Was bist du, wie Kleinkind, liegst auf der Erde, flach. Okay. Ich hab mal drin. Wie lange weiß ich nicht. Wie kannst dich noch nicht umbringen, bist noch nicht im Saal. Halb dich auf und zieh dann Boden, schieß aus der Fall. Du denkst, es ist ein schwerer Krieg, okay, dann hab's da Ball. Ich weiß, der Spieß legal, du siehst, Katz ist normal. Du denkst, der Klau, heute fällst du ja weg, nie Fall. Spieß von dir wird auch erlaubt, ein bist du Schicktal. Ich weiß, es ist abnormal, weil der Schlag geht unter Wahl. Die bist der General, marschier mit Starkheit noch einmal. Dein Platz ist nicht auf der Erde in Stall. Süße Brüder, stäub dich schon auf weg auf dein Moral. Herzen spüren, ich weiß ja, verdienste Chamadal. Hast du Minne, halb auf dein Moral. Hast du Minne, boost dein Moral. Geile Story, also. Man hat das Scheide zu ich spiel kein Chilligere, doch nicht mir erfüllen, wenn ich meine ich viere. Kontrolliert dich jeden Rier, der weil du wirklich da viere. Wenn wir geben, mal probier, Ados Finanz, was bringt mir? Ich weiß immer, vermacht ein Tier. Fahr, Azaz, jetzt was Gewiere, fang mich schon Kaschim Hakire, schon treffen nas Tiere, läuft zum Beure, beten schmiere. Tate sah mich schnell mit Sader, der weil du vergeht, aber der vielen wat von Melech hat, die bist doch der ganze Kader. So viel da so geht in der Schule, ich fühle mich schon zurückgerufen, wie bist du zurück, die suchen, bis mit Basen stechen bruten. Mit deinen Spiesen wissen wir schacken, die was mir total zerhaken, frische teures Kims die backen, die schön ist alles sagen. Schechst du meine Interessen, fang nicht schon was gleich aufmessen, gut for nothing, kannst vergessen, bis wir ganze Zeit auf Essen. Suchst mir, ich bin geht vergunisch, auch geht in der ganze Jure, hast dich nicht geriet, kein Hurnisch ist, aber nicht einmal klur nicht. Du bist der beste Bewasen, na die ist dich in mich grasen, ich bin doch stärker wie Asen, die beschwache wie der Masen. Bis mir und einmal noch Pfarrei, ich soll noch los in der Fight, schön als ich sag mal getreut, jedes muss ich immer getreut. Du sollst die Klur und Deiten, also ich bin noch bereit zu feiten, oft sie rasen deine Keiten, reine Männer sie verspreiten. Ja, du sie Klur, wie tut dem Helm, jedes Mal ich will erwähnen, das ist die Taktik für mich quälen, die kannst auf der Fies mich stellen. Klar ist Ruhe wieder her, sie wird geheilt werden, abgewischt, ihre Tränen zurück zu Tati sei ergehen. Mach ich schnell geschwind, reinig ich von jedem, wenn der Fuhn und schon sagen, sind wir treffen Tati mit dem Kind. Tati sucht der Säure, riet ich Spiel, mal wenn der Kite nicht allein, ob wenn das Liebschaft hat dort überrennt, Kneses ist Ruhe gewöhnt. Der Säure hat da Klapp am Miesen, wenn die jeden wird wir schmissen, Brüder, lassen wir sich begrüßen, wollen wir schön heim schließen. Fehlen, du lässt all dem Schweren, siegreich wird muss ich umkehren, keine kennen es mehr nicht stehren. A Moment. Vergeine ben uit Roelen en Meitzer, sei jener in der Welt. Stocken noch immer sei Jeitzer, mental health. Hat viele a Hand, wer Brüder keine Schatten, de Waren, die gefunden, die Kira Barster. Sie drückt, der Asene Gratu. Mit der Simche, mit der Frischkeit. The Chaim, the Fische Leime, for the pain, the Knesset Yisrael. The Chaim, the Fische Leime, for the pain, the Knesset Yisrael. The Chaim, the Fische Leime, for the pain, the Knesset Yisrael. The Chaim, the Fische Leime. Father, think Knesset Yisrael, L'chaim Refisha, Father, think Knesset Yisrael, L'chaim Refisha, Father, Eretz Yisroel, Haliden Refi Shalayim, Chadeli Yisroel, Unu Hashem Yishinu, Unu Hashem Atzlichu, Unu Hashem Yishinu, Unu Hashem Atzlichu, Unu Hashem Yishinu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Ze drückt mich schon eine lange Zeit in can't get it out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, so much. So leicht. Schkoich. Gibt energy in the room. Schkoich. Als Platz. Thanks.
Maybe this can tell us give us a question. So tzitzis. So I noticed that Rav Kook wears like 15 or 16 pairs of tzitzis, one on top of the other. What? 72?
Don't quote.
No, es ist ein Peikel. Ich weiß nicht wie viel.
Ja, aber viele nicht als Artikel.
Ist gerecht. Ja, es kann 72. Es ist weg, es ist noch weg. En nog een trip te nog zijn package on top of them all, but like a very heavy as far as the can finish that. Anyway, so I was like, went to them then. So I was thinking, why, who's took to the tzitzis, who's the matzah from the tzitzis? So einfach so ein Geber haben gesucht, als al gehört, weil man kennt ihn, an Mitzvah, man kann mit ihn noch von selber Mitzvah, wusste nicht. Fine, ich habe gehört, dass er gesucht. But then, betracht, is reingekommen that energetically what's happening is that tzitzis is one of the mitzvahs that we're wearing with a loisas and an esem, because matunish mishkan klein is wool and linen, so you get from shatnez, and tzitzis is wool and linen, shatnez, geherig shatnez. Right? The bottom of the feet, I cut the tzitzis and saw the linen, and this is geherig shatnez. And the funny thing is that so what's happening is that the lois esef and shatnez is being cancelled out by the mitzvahs esef and turban tzitzis. There's the right foot?
Essen durch die Lois.
Nein, nicht als das. Klein hitter bezitzes. Bitte mal durch.
Essen durch
Where?
das Essen.
Klein hitter bezitzes.
Nicht
Nicht als es durch, ne?
No.
Er sieht mit Namen wegen. Sind die Schuhe essen wie klein?
Ja, verstehe. Yeah, but yeah, I said it.
Boetel?
Nicht als Essen durch die Lois.
Er sieht mit
Fine,
Namen wegen.
but let's go to the I want to give you the Indian of it. Okay with it. So what's happening over? So why is it okay? Good. So why talking? For who's in the can climb? Who's in the can climb? But what's happening over there? Wie? For what's happening there? Why? For who's in the can finish even more powerful.
Yes.
But I want to go less powerful because when you make it that powerful, you're going to see soon that it's not working.
That's true.
We're going to go to that after, but first you have to start. You have to build for it. So what's happening here is that there you have the linen has a combination, has a vibration, has an energy of a lois whatever energy it is. The tzitzis of either zana oisius, the taryag mitzvahs of them that is running on the tzitzis. When you're putting these two together, they're activating each other. One is pressing the other. One is cancelling out the other. The climate is like no, he's like yes, the mitzvah, and that is holding it together. Which means that the Arba Kanfas is generating tremendous amount of energy, which means that you said that it cancels out the whole Loisese, which means that se macht sich over, the ganze illusion von Nisht wird geöffnet. As you're walking, the whole thing of Nisht is opening up in front of you. Okay? Now imagine if you wear 72 of those. Speaking about Edach HaMekibel, he's a mathematician, and like Yichdaf generating kach v'kach energy to open up the space. So the Bashant, and again, different avoiders in between. The little killers, and the Shrine, we got verschiedene avoiders in the mikveh, there's some generated energy, Aantal schon du on YouTube, so I never liked it over the voucher. But then you get an blood you know, you have now millions of generated energies that he did. One day he said that in Morocco, the Moroccan marching, the kleine Kinder, especially the kleine Kinder, against something. It's like a whole story I heard over last week. Anyways, he was Mavatal Gezayah that was supposed to happen by sending him out and generating energy to create, to remove that illusion. Okay? So, as I'm learning Hilchas Tzitzis from Rebnusen, I found it today. Verifying and validating what I'm saying. Ze is a shatna. Shehi is chabres 10 minute fishtim. This is mechaber 10 minute wool and linen. Ki 10 minute gabe pishtim beginnes bittel el tachlis. Ki mesham shashe. But the 10 minute, in compared to the pishtim, is beginnes bittel el tachlis. Ki mesham shashe. Pishtim beginnes gevirus. Shesham achizes adina. Shem is gern b'yosek sherhoim. Shem beginnes bittel. So the pishtim is gevirus, which means that it's intense, it's fire, it's dinam, it's judgment, it has its intent, and the tzemer is the lemel of the shefel is fully surrendered, fully surrendered. And when they fished him, when they gevirus, that level of tzemer, their level of bittel, werd even meer overgerekt. I'm going to treten. Who do you think? What? Yeah. And the tzemer goes into more bittel, and it triggers the pishtim even more. And now you wear these on the 4 Arba Kampfers, the trucks Teserim, machst auf, you're a walking energy machine that just explodes. And Bechlal, we know that the tzitzis are 36 mitzvahs that you are generating. Basically, you're an electric machine. You're an energy machine that is generating some crazy ancient technology that was received on the Har Sinai. The prophet, get my prophet, get read Punim, and he gave him the answer to it. Right? So we can't, it's terug met deze rim en nog met dit film, met de ganze pasje, but we're talking about, you know, like you always say, like imagine it comes from the Amazon episode, faded like this, and it's like, you know, it's highly against his, you know, the ganze spiel, you know, and it's held this way and that way, and energy. We have these boxes, you know, these powerful machines. You put on your arm, strapped into 7, the midas, and then the shalosh, and you're connecting to Shema Hashem Adkan Hashem Echad. You're making a yichud with that everything is one. You're blowing up this whole spiel. You're blowing it up, you know, 3 times a day. You're blowing up that whole illusion of whatever is happening, and then you come back and you deal with it. But you're basically going into that place of absolute yichud. That is Tu B'Av, that is Tu B'Av. Tu B'Av, we have the koyach to go and says our simcha, says our Yom Tov, Lo Hoyo, no, do the pussy. No. That's it, bingo, boom. Forget about it. Boom. Jeder weiß der Tag? Jeder weiß der Tag? Sind ich nach der Yom Tov, ich habe Schuss im Beruf. In wie Yom Kippur? Noch einmal, Lo Hoyo mit Tovim?
Ja, wie ist es?
Sind ich nach der Yom Tov? Wie ist es? Ja, weiß. Chamish Usa, Lo Hoyo mit Tovim, Masulo Ketuv B'Av, Yom Kippurim? Ja. Venton aanvallen, also immer rausmatchen von da. Aanrasen. Genige man. But them is nicht, der Venton nicht aanvallen, was darf nicht, ist, was? Ja, nicht begepozen, darf rausgehen ruhig. Jeder eine, zahn Pruti, wie alle sagen.
Pruti.
Huh?
Yellow
Pruti. So, this is the matzah with the tzitzis chavra. We have work to do. There's work to do. Everybody has their job, their work to do, and nobody's here to punish you, or nobody's here to threaten you, or nobody's here to reward you. You are in the battlefield. You are fighting your own battle. Nobody's fighting it for you. And just remember to check your roots and check what you want. Make sure that it's aligned. Make sure that it's where it needs to be. Like I said before, it's easy to go into bittul and get carried away. It's easy to go in and go into but the organism is already weak. The organism is ganz schön issue is that schön ungeschmack is geändert. So Vusya is massive shefa, avada. But to be aligned with the intention, with the roots and favuz, when, vi, if man tafked is to bring a shefa of the world, then go do it with power, with justice, with so that man tafked to bring lichtigkeit in an andere weg, you got to do that. If it's if it's being stand up or being correct or being whatever the avoid is, to connect to the intention, and by connecting to the intention is you're not taking it personal. You don't get caught up in the process. Rather, you understand that this is a process, and it's actually very Mashiach-like. It's very exciting when you're doing your work from a place of I'm doing a job. I'm not caught up in nothing. Ich bin nicht trapped doing a problem. I have no problems because it's going to work itself out. It's been working itself out. It always worked itself out, and everything is fine. Elamai, I'm dealing with something. But once I go into that place that I understand that I'm dealing with something rather than I am in a problem, that in itself already fixes the problem because it's starting to separate you from the problem. You're peeling away from the layers, and then it turns into from this chayma. You keep going at it more and more, saturating it until it becomes just a vape, and the problem dissolves itself. Literally like that, the problem dissolves itself. So that's the matzah. Any questions? Huh? Yeah, Ron can ze waschen.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna, you want to waschen? I like another 20 minutes, I gotta have it. Waarom meer? Maar dat moet doen. Dat laat dan doen. Ik kan je voeren laten.
Very powerful, the chokhmah that goes through the feelings, das Knesset through one hand, es kann women.
Yeah.
Ins weiß man nicht, ins deserven es, was man deserved es.
Ja, het is weiß man nicht, wie es ist.
Ja.
Als je nog niet deserves dat dan is. Het lijkt, je ganze geschäft van deserven.
Ich meine, der Gleiden als ich. Also ich kann auch. Ich will noch the part von.
So that's what I'm saying. I want to bypass that whole spiel.
Was schon das war das verkehrt, nach verlangen da.
No, listen to this. Where you going gets complicated. Yes, ze zeggen, de hand ertoe behoeft. Hand gaat een tiefer van hem. We'll give the chiddush from the talk, the special of the day. Yes, I do burgers. You can buy all types of machines. You can go in, do I deserve it? And but me deserving it, I'm owning the organism and I'm pulling in. I'm pulling in.
This is the Platz in Bittel.
Look,
no.
The Platz in Bittel is to go into absolute roots, because I want. Go to the searchlight. You didn't read the menu. Did you read the menu? This is going to be sound of the menu. Mama zegt, ik weet het niet. Ze roze komen vraag ik de menu. Maar ik geef hem de menu, vraag ik. And I put it up. Mama zegt, moet me gekauwd. And connecting to the searchlight within you. Okay? The relationships, connection, the mirroring self. What?
Wer controlt es aber? Eine controlt es.
Ja, thank you. Wer controlt es?
Nicht controlt.
Ich hab er gaan redden, ganz nach so der the Sinn is empowered by the Eure ein Sof. So when they Eure ein Sof shant around in the Lavuna, in the 5th of the Tug, then it's not ich control Gunish. I'm just in flow with it.
So when they force, bringt er the light within you.
Yom Shekila bei mij samid, we hand hem nog get starten. We starten nicht mehr. You make kind of forgetfulness. No more das shikte. We remember, for here we're living on. We lebt schon weibig von du.
Right.
Hold on a second. We're still gonna die, yes, unfortunately. Sometimes I'm surprised when they tell me like somebody died. I'm like, wow. I thought it's schon aufgehört, she asked. But nothing is fine. But Yom Shekula b'may samid is that there is still a part within us that can't trachten, so as we gaan starten mit. Jene Chayli, jene part that you get to at some time, it's like, but I big do, jene Chayli was I big do, es ist I big do sein.
Aber sterben noch Menschen, weil sie glauben nicht genug?
Weil sie noch du das tachten. What do you mean that? So do a parts von uns.
Da bin ich genug
I usually get gerne verteilt. So viel kann ich gut fallen. Und noch alles do is certain fast that I can't get rid of. Alright?
Das mach ich ganz allein.
Wow, that do a massive So, Kevin, this is also Chanikis Abbas for Moshe. A huge move. The Moshe is also coming from the ik wil niet zo specifiek woord. Het kan zijn, laten we zeggen, dat is coming from the Iron Fist
Fliegerett von
The iron grip van de Moises from the Stoot, whatever. From the Heilige Stoot. And he made it all the way up here to Muncie. It's a groot gedraaid. Against all the odds. Het is een groot gedraaid. En ook had het gehad baby Meidel. Wow, so special. And so this is the night, this is the part. You're watching this clip with that umgedraaid. So this is only like the eerste step. Even though I like the ground floor because it's grounding, and I live on the 5th floor, which is like sometimes it's yeah. But this is very grounding. This is good. But even so, that's the guy Michael Grasser and Shannon and Luchtige.
Wow.
Als we want to the 5th start, is it niet grounding?
Huh?
Als we want to the 5th start, is it niet grounding, Erik?
This is under me grounding.
Ja. Andere oilen.
Andere materialen. Huh?
Je wil nog even vinden.
No, that was disconnected. Then it is the proper.
Gewin met alles zo, het is grappig. Die heeft er niet van.
Ik wil de zekste, ik ga eindelijk de zekste bij apotheek. Ik ga de zekste zeggen. Dat fijn. Dat is nog wel bekend, maar die gewoon op een 5th start. Ga missen ze uit binnen. Big deal. Mag dat joken? Maar de Rijn Hotel wordt er ook naast een start, Rijn op. I'm enjoying every second of it.
Kort nog?
Ja, wo ist nicht? Da darf man schon editen? Okay.
Ja,
Sind wir schon fertig?
Ja,